Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another talk. Oh, yeah. Title of the video is You Are All You Need. Yeah. I want to talk about what you can do for yourself today. First, I want to just, check in with you guys, see how y'all doing, give y'all a little minute to respond. See how y'all doing in the audience. So, I want to talk about what can you do within yourself that helps you be more in control of your life, that helps you take advantage of the time and the endless possibilities here on this earth. I think one of the most important things that I've recently discovered is doing things that I actually care about. And I know this sounds silly, but I'm rediscovering caring about things because for so long I've been living in survival mode, and it's forced me to do things that I don't like to do. So I've gotten used to doing things that I don't like to do, and it's just become a way of life. So as I was forced to, grow up and everything, I lost sight of those things that bring me a juvenile kind of joy. And I'm tapping into those things, like reading. Again, I used to be an avid reader, and I don't know, somewhere I drifted off, and I'm rediscovering my love for stillness, just being immersed in an activity with my full undivided attention, because I feel like my attention span has gotten so low because of, microwave feedback. Social media is just tap, swipe, click, boom, next, So it's literally never enough. And you just keep going and getting these false dopamine hits. And they're short-lived. So my answer is to find something that is sustainable. That those dopamine hits will be gradual and persistent, not crash and burn. Do things that bring you peace, that bring you stillness, like reading or yoga or meditation, because they truly do allow you to just be. I want to talk about having family members and friends that have very big opinions that weigh on you. It can sometimes be overwhelming when you have people, especially people that are close to you and you value their opinions, constantly telling you all the time what you're doing wrong. It can discourage you so much so that you just completely are experiencing an aversion to what you once wanted to do, because so many people have said negative things and now you have a negative view of it because you've been influenced. But part of that is confidence in knowing who you are without anyone having to tell you anything. But also it's filling your circle with people that will reinforce those things in you, those good things, those things that you care about. The people that you care about should care about the things that you care about to some degree. I'm not saying they gotta be all immersed in your world, but they should care about your happiness to some degree. So I would say block out all of those negative opinions because they don't mean anything. the confidence that you should have should come from within. The confidence that you have should be internal, not externally received or externally focused. Because I think immense amounts of stress and pressure to succeed ultimately may cause you to fail the journey of what it is. You're focusing on getting A's or doing good in it, or however that looks to you. Whatever success looks like in that room, that's what you're focused on. Because you don't want somebody to say that you're a failure. So what if you fail? You only fail if you stop. Otherwise, it's just a bump in the road. And that's something I'm learning too. That one bump in the road is not a complete stop. It's like a yield sign. And I've realized you can't shame yourself into growing or learning something different. You can't unlearn patterns with shaming yourself, because at some point in time, that version of yourself worked for you, or you needed it. However, it may not anymore, and that's okay. So you have to give yourself some self-compassion and say that, yes, I may have needed these traits and these characteristics at one point in my life. They may have helped me survive somewhere, but I'm not in that place anymore. So I have to grow from that to something greater. And that only happens if you're nice to yourself. That only happens if you don't beat yourself up for having done that in the first place. Because most of the time, you can't even remember why you started doing it. But you just have to trust yourself and know that it was needed at some point. What does loving yourself look like? What does self-care look like? I'm actually writing a paper on this right now in my English class. So the way that I define self-care, the easiest way for me to describe it is within the realms of emotional, physical, and mental health or well-being. I think it looks like emotionally setting boundaries with people, telling them no. I don't care to hear your opinion. I don't have the capacity to hear you talk about this right now. I want to form my own opinion before I hear what you have to say about the situation. I need some time to myself. I think that's what emotional self-care looks like. I think mental self-care looks like meditation, even journaling. That can also be emotional. I think physical looks like yoga, hiking, exercising, eating right. It's also what you put into your body. I think literally the way that you take care of yourself is self-care. Your diet, your routines, your circle, all of that is very important to what you're feeding your body. Your body is constantly absorbing your mind, your body, your spirit is constantly absorbing all of these different energies and experiences of life and people. But you have to know which ones that you have to feed out. And you're like, okay, no, I'm cool. That's boundaries to me. That's knowing what lines you won't cross. That's knowing yourself. And I think that's very important. And regulating yourself, coping with stress, knowing yourself and what you respond to is very important. And listening to your body when it's trying to tell you things is also very important to me. Another thing I find of great importance is celebrating your wins. I be hard on myself sometimes because I put so much pressure on myself to succeed. Whether it comes externally, internally, I have both motivations. And most of the time, I am so hard on myself and so focused on moving to the next thing that I'm not taking the time to celebrate my wins, my accomplishments, and the things that I've done right. I'm too steady or too busy focusing on the things that I believe I've done wrong. But all of that is a part of balance. You have to have a certain amount of good and bad for it to be neutral. You have to have a certain amount of structure plus a little spontaneity, you know? I'm learning to balance all things in my life because we are constantly absorbing things. Sometimes it's hard to regulate what comes in and out or what gets to me before I can get to it. I think balance is one of those things that's a necessity. That when you find yourself doing too much of something, that you have to reset, balance. I have a day of the week that I just have to get myself together. If the whole week has been bad, or I've been busy, or I haven't taken the time to cater to myself, I know that I have that one day where I will give myself everything that I need. And consistency is important, but what that looks like to you may vary. Mine is consistently every week. I know I for sure have that one day a week, every week. But some people may need every day or every month they have a weekend, you know? That scale looks different to every person, but you have to figure out what works for you. And overall, I just want to say be nice to yourself because the world can be mean, the world can be cruel, and the world is very demanding. But you can only give what you replenish. Please take care of yourself. It's only one of you in this world, and we won't get another. So be kind to yourself so that you can give love to other people and yourself, most importantly. But that is all that I have to say today. Thank you for listening. Until next time, your ray of sunshine is out.